too is I realize sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, put so much pressure, put so much stress. And that was the issue, one of the issues that I had. And I have to ask myself, how has that served me for 36 years? And quite honestly, the truth is, it hasn't served me. And I really learned on this journey that I need to accept myself. I need to learn to love myself. I need to be kinder to myself. Because if I cannot be kinder to myself, there is no way I can be kinder to other people.
Yeah.
That's just not for ourselves.
Right.
And so I think part of it too, with this ride, people ask me, man, why are you going so fast? I said, I know. It is going so fast. One is because I need that momentum going because I might not want to ride it if I think about it for 2 years. I might have a million reasons why not to. But at the same time, are we prepared? We'll do the best we can and we'll keep growing from it. And to me, I think that's good enough. Yeah. And when I say good enough, doesn't mean that we will stop growing. It just say, hey, don't beat ourselves up. It does not help. It doesn't help when we're suffocating ourselves. For example, when people are struggling in life, right? I see so much parallel with this whole process with people who are struggling because that was my struggle as I grew up 36 years. Mm-hmm. I was suffocating myself. I was choking the life out of myself. How has that served me? 36 years later, I was falling apart. And I'm glad for this opportunity that I took. I made a choice. We all have a choice to make, and I made a choice. And allowed me to experience something and be kinder to myself. Now I have the opportunity to experience. I'm not transformed. I'm not perfect. And that word is so deceiving. And also, I'm not there. And quite honestly, we'll never be there until I hit the grave. So perhaps we should stop thinking about that and just enjoy right now. And learn that if we can do certain things, great. If we cannot, that's okay too. But it doesn't give us the excuse. Hopefully, and I'm not promoting excuse of, oh, we'll just be mediocre. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Mm-hmm. You know what's exciting and something I often think about is that, you know, people that are born often ask themselves the question, I think we all have asked ourselves this question at one point in time, like, what am I really here for?
Okay.
Like, what is this all about? And I think that every single person that's born, every person that's here, they're here for a great cause, for a great reason that only that person can really fulfill. They were born to do that.
Huh.
And we're in a world where so much is forced on us that takes away our individuality. It takes away our quest to even search for it. Because from an early age, we're taught, go to school, listen to your parents. That's what we're taught. So we listen to our parents at home, we go to school, we listen to our instructors and our teachers, and we're taught, you go to school, you go to college, you graduate, you get a job, you get married, that's life. That doesn't show us purpose.
No. It's just a framework, not a bad framework. It works for a lot of people, and we're definitely not promoting kids not to listen to their teacher or parents, but perhaps it gives us an opportunity to think a little bit and go on that quest and find that purpose, find that clarity. Is that what you're talking about?
That's definitely what I'm saying, because what I believe is that true fulfillment for people is in finding their purpose.
Right.
I think everything that's on this planet has a purpose, like a bee has a purpose, an ant has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So if you can think even insects, animals have purpose. Don't you think we have purpose as humans? We have a purpose as human beings, and then we have purpose as individuals that help all human beings. Kind of like an ant colony.
Absolutely.
An ant has a purpose as an individual ant, but his overall purpose is to help that colony.
Absolutely.
And I think as human beings, we have to focus on that.
Right.
And so the awareness of that is something that I think that we can help people to identify with. Hey, look inside yourself to discover that gift or that tool, because that gift or that tool can help lead you to your fulfillment in life, because that fulfillment in life comes in finding your purpose.
Right.
And so I think like what I see you going through in meeting you, the first question that came to mind, because when you hear the word suicide,
Yeah.
That word is almost like an ugly word. It's a scary word. It's a word that you don't want to talk about.
Sure.
It's suicide. It's not a positive word.
Not at all.
So, for someone that has experienced it by being a survivor of someone that has committed suicide, or having a friend, or having any type of knowledge of it, you know it has an effect on that person.
Yes.
But for the person that hasn't directly experienced it, you don't know if it has the same type of effect. So when I heard you saying that you were writing for suicide prevention, the first question that came to my mind is, who did he lose? And it's interesting to me how I believe God has set on your heart a passion to ride for this cause.
Without losing anybody.
Without losing anyone.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's what I'm saying about fulfillment.
Right.
You've worked. You've done everything that you're supposed to do. You went to school. You were in the military. You were doing everything right, but there still wasn't fulfillment there. So at the end of the day, it's about what is it that's going to make you fulfilled.
Absolutely.
As an individual. And I think that very thing is tied to our purpose in life.
Absolutely.
And I believe you're discovering that right now.
This is me discovering
This is you discovering
Absolutely.
your purpose. And as you grab that handle and that mantle and say, you know what? I've never rode a bike like this before. But I know I can do it. And the reason I know I can do it is because what's inside of me coming out, that powerful energy, which is destiny calling you, saying, hey, this is what you were born to do.
Absolutely.
This is you're at that perfect time in your life. You're meeting yourself.
Sure.
And so I'm going to utilize that. So put the energy in that. So as you go, as the momentum goes, I will cause the universe and everything in the universe to come help that fulfill in your life. And as you're doing it, it's attaching itself to the universe. People that have experienced suicide, survivors of suicide, like myself, we never would have met if you wouldn't have put that energy out. People that are contemplating suicide, that will hear this message or see you writing or see someone's social media platform and hear one conversation and say, hey, I identify with that. You know, maybe I shouldn't kill myself. Maybe I should wait another day. Maybe it is going to get better. You know, because I'm very convinced that most people that commit suicide, they really don't want to. I think it's something that they go to because they've been convinced by voices that enter their mind that could be a solution for them.
Absolutely.
And so I think it becomes a trap that the enemy uses to take their life. The Bible says, and I believe in that book, it says the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So his first reason to show up at the doorstep is to kill. So he's actually going to try and take you out.
Sure.
Do you think he comes up with a machine gun at your front door? No. The way he comes is through our thoughts.
When you're asleep.
When you're asleep.
Less guarded.
When you're up. When you're not paying attention to the words and the voices coming into your mind. God will never say to you, go kill yourself. That's a voice that comes from the enemy.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's important for us to create the awareness of mental health, of knowing the voices that enter into your mind, knowing your voice, knowing
what the truth is.
What the truth is, yeah.
Right, knowing what the truth is. And at the end of the day, I think we all want to live. And yet, sometimes when we're struggling, we feel we're not worthy. We feel we're burdening other people. We're feeling that we're bothering other people. We feel the world is better without us. But the truth is, those are just thoughts that are in your own head.
Yeah.
That is not the case. The truth is, we all have that possibility to be that beacon for someone else. We all have that possibility to be that light that we seek in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we have that purpose, when we become that beacon, there's no reason. People with a purpose, we don't kill ourselves. We really don't. Right? When we need help, we go out and seek for help.
Right.
And when we can, we become that beacon for other people.
Right.
At the end of the day, if it takes for us to be vulnerable, start talking about things that people are not willing to talk about because of negative stigma, because we feel like that if we show signs of weakness, or if we share our feelings, that's a sign of weakness. The truth is, it actually takes a lot more courage. It takes a lot more bravery asking for help when we truly need it.
Absolutely.
It shows character.
Absolutely.
That we're not going to be the person that we're not.
Absolutely. I believe that every person needs someone to go to. They need a mentor. They need a coach of some sort. I mean, let's just look at sports, for example.
Sure.
Every great athlete has a coach that helps him be that great athlete. If you talk to Michael Jordan, I'm sure he'll give a lot of credit to his coaches.
Absolutely.
Because, see, while you're in the game, you don't actually get to see everything that's going on the playing field.
Sure.
Or on the court. A coach can sit back and look at you and see the points that you need to strengthen yourself. A coach can encourage you when he sees that you're down. A coach knows how to have that conversation. And I believe us as human beings, we all need that mentorship and that coaching sometime.
Absolutely.
I think that's why God designed a system that we can come up under parents to get some coaching.
Sure.
As we're introduced to this earth realm and this world that we're living in.
Absolutely.
So I think that people often think if they reach out and they get in the conversation, that is a sign of weakness, that they do have to show that, hey, I can handle this as a person. But I think that we do need to talk, and we do need to open up the communication lines to let people know, hey, it's safe to talk about whatever pressure it is that you're going through, because believe me, there's someone else going through that same type of pressure.
Really?
And
No way.
a positive solution.
No way. No way.
Exactly.
Really? Other people... I'm not the only person that is struggling in the world.
Not the only person.
No way, Vince. I do not believe you. Right? And the truth is, that sometimes is playing with people's head.
Yeah.
We feel like we need to be in this alone when we're struggling. We are very good at hiding things, sweep everything underneath the rug, isolating ourselves, and eventually that volcano will erupt. And quite honestly, that is not good enough, because the cost of that volcano erupting is the cost of a life.
Yeah.
And I think
one thing for people to keep in mind also is when they do hear thoughts and depression and pressure that's coming on them, and they feel that they want to be in a room by themselves and isolated. I think one of the traps of the enemy is to get a person all by themselves and to get them alone, to get them to where they won't talk to anyone. I think the enemy uses tact like that through words, suggesting in their mind thoughts.
Other people don't want you to be around.
They don't want you around. Anything
Such negative
to back
energy.
a person up into the corner by themselves, because
Absolutely.
you're more vulnerable by yourself.
Easier to kill.
If I'm sitting with you and I'm thinking like, gosh, I'm just unworthy, or whatever the situation, my girlfriend broke up with me, I feel like, hey, I don't deserve to live. You're going to look at me and say, hey, boy, what are you talking about? And you're going to pull me out of that thought, and then I'm done with it.
Or I will be doing what I'm doing, and I would invite you to come with me.
Exactly.
And perhaps that's a better path, and channel that energy.
Right.
For example, survivor of those people who we have lost. It's a very challenging situation. A lot of time we feel the pain. We feel, what do we do now that we have lost this person? And I quite honestly cannot imagine the kind of pain it is, especially for a very extremely close. I've lost a really dear friend. But it's not like losing a son, not like losing a girlfriend, boyfriend. But the truth is that already took place. We can't reverse that. It's so permanent.
Yeah.
Right? Perhaps what we could do, so we have a lot of energy now. We have a lot of passion now.
Yeah.
Right? We can choose to get caught up and dwell in that pain, which I understand. We are seeking comfort.
Yeah.
Right? Or perhaps we can channel it in a better way, more positive way. Right? And especially on this ride, that's the whole point that I am going to ride in honor of all these people that we have lost that we know. And truthfully, they're everywhere. And truthfully,
We
there are
appreciate
too
that.
many.
We really appreciate that. All the survivors of family members or friends that have committed suicide, the awareness that you're bringing to it. I want to be the first to let you know we really, really, really appreciate you dedicating yourself, to this cause. That's why myself personally, and anything that I can do to help
Thank you.
support this cause, create awareness. I never in a million years would have thought that I would experience something like this.
And
Never.
we hope that nobody ever have to go through this.
Yeah.
But this is part of life. And hopefully through awareness we can reduce that. But when it happens, we have some choices to make. Every moment we have some choices to make.
Right.
Right? And I choose to ride for Jeremiah. I choose to ride for my friend Erlena. I choose to ride for all these people that has been supportive, that have lost people. And truthfully, I'm riding for everybody who's struggling and who are still alive.
Yeah.
Just so you know that I'm pedaling my ass off, even though my butt is hating me, I'm pedaling anyway, and I'm fighting for myself. I'm fighting for people who are struggling, coming back from overseas. I'm fighting for first responders. Every day, the things that they have to see, paramedics, police officers, firefighters, or anybody and everybody, people lose people, survivors, people who are struggling. We all are just trying to survive this world.
Yeah.
We're not that different.
No, we're not.
Right? And the truth is, that's really what I'm writing for, and I encourage and want to invite everybody. This is something that I believe impact every single one of us in some sort of capacity.
Absolutely. We're all fighting similar struggles as human beings.
Absolutely.
We all are fighting them. And there's no secret. We don't get out of this alive.
We will eventually die one day.
We will eventually die. So there's no reason for us to speed up the process. What we really want to do is make sure with the time that we have, we do what we were born to do.
Yes.
And that's what we want to spread. Hey, we know life is tough. Heck, I may have felt like taking myself out at some time. You may have felt it. Someone else may have felt it. It's because we have similar experiences. Because life is tough.
Life is tough.
However,
that's okay.
It's okay that it's tough because we can still make it through it. There's resources that the Creator has given us to live the best life that we can live here.
Absolutely.
I mean, He's given us so many natural things that support us.
Absolutely.
And so just like the natural things are here, trees that we utilize in so many ways, there's resources that He's given us from a spiritual standpoint that would help us be strong, that will help us fight another day. And so these are the type of awareness stories, I believe,
Absolutely.
that will help people realize that, hey, life is tough. We're not trying to say it's not tough. You're going to have
I'm not in denial.
Yeah, it's going to constantly beat you up.
Absolutely.
As soon as you think you have it together, boom, you're hit. And you go through another struggle. But the journey is where we learn to appreciate life. The journey is what life is all about. And,
Absolutely.
And it's okay if you're going through it. That means you are normal.
That means last time I checked, are you human? Last time I checked, I'm human.
Exactly.
I just want to make sure.
Right.
You're not like a droid or something, that you don't experience struggle, because
right.
Tell me where I sign it up.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, we have opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. We have opportunity to make a difference. Doesn't mean that the difference is going to be easy, but we have an opportunity to make a difference. Be that difference that we want to see in the world. Be that beacon that we want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
Be that hope and inspiration that we want to see in the world. Because if you asked me 3 months ago, when things were just kind of falling apart, when business is not doing well, when personal relationship is not doing well, what's my outlook? I will tell you very honestly, it's definitely not this.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
Not anywhere near.
Right.
Right? And yet, here we are. And so, I think the truth is, just like you said, we all have that magnificence inside of us, that greatness inside of us. It's going to take a lot. It's like a rough diamond in the rough, it will take a lot of pressure, a lot of painful cutting it to make it a beautiful diamond.
Absolutely.
But I firmly believe if we allow ourselves that chance, if we give our life a chance, that we will be able to experience how amazing, how wonderful, how epic, how beautiful this life could be. And truthfully, that is the message. The message is not about mental health struggles, suicide all day, because since I've been doing this for 3 months, only 3 months, I hear about depression all day. It's very depressing. And really, that's not where we want our focus to be on. Not to say we ignore it.
Right.
We recognize it and we know it's real.
Right.
How about we talk about what is really exciting?
Right.
How about we talk about what wakes us up in the morning?
Right.
Why don't we do that?
Right. Absolutely. Because, and I think that's so essentially important, because the opposite of that, the negative, the results of suicide, someone giving up, is them not holding on to that gift, that mantle that they're born to be.
Yes.
Because once you discover that, that's your purpose, that's your cause, that's your reason to wake up. And I think that helping people be aware that no matter what you're going through, you're still special with a unique gift that the whole world needs you to birth.
Absolutely.
So keep fighting, because it may take another 5 years before it gets out.
It took me 36 years. It took me 36 years.
We need you to go through those 36 years to get to this point.
Absolutely. All the good and bad.
Absolutely.
For me to be birthed into this person that I am today. Because without any of that experience, had my business be just okay, had my personal relationship be just okay, I will probably still be going through that right now. And none of this current reality will ever exist. None of it will exist.
Right.
And so perhaps we can start learning to stop labeling experience with good or bad.
Yeah.
It's just an experience. One might be more painful than the other, but everything take place for a reason for us to be who we are today.
Right.
And we have a lot to be grateful for about.
Right. And another thing, especially in today's millennium generation, where people want instant gratification.
Right.
We can get most things just from the touch of a button.
Sure.
The information is there for us. So with that instant gratification, I think that today a lot of people expect instant solutions for situations and challenges that they have. And that's not always the case.
Would you say it's very deceiving, the whole concept of it?
Very much deceiving, very much so. And so,
You mean I cannot grow overnight and be perfect?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
That is a hard
we,
truth
we
for
have
me,
to
man.
we have to look at it like we have to accept it as we accept little babies that are born. When little babies are born and they come and they start crawling, we don't say after he's been crawling for a little bit, "Hey, when are you going to get up and start walking?"
Well, yeah, hurry up.
We wait for him
Right.
to learn how to walk. We never say that's a dumb baby, does not walk. We let the process, we trust the process. And in the same way with life, and I think
We forgot, huh?
we forgot to trust the process, the simple process that God has put in place, for us. Trust the process. I know you're going through a tough time. I know it's a tough day with your marriage, with your job, with, there's so many different challenges. But trust the process. Trust that the Creator that created you, that allowed you to come to this planet, knows what He's doing, that you're here for a reason. Even if you're hearing other things in the environment that you're in, maybe you're in a household or in some type of community where someone's putting you down or making you feel like you're not worthy, trust the process. Listen to that voice inside of you that's saying something positive. We all hear voices in our head every single day. We hear our voice, and then there's other voices that try and enter our arena of our mind.
Sure.
Our arena, like our boxing arena,
Sure.
if you would. So in that mind are thoughts. And so we have to say, where is that thought coming from? Is that a good thought? Is it a bad thought? I'm very upset because someone hurt me. Well, here thought comes. Where's that thought coming from? Is that thought going to help produce life or death? If it's a bad thought, maybe I should put it aside and just trust the process. It may be bad today, it may still be bad tomorrow, it may be bad in a week, but I trust the process that it's not going to stay bad.
Nothing is permanent,
It's
even
going
in
to
bad
get better.
situation.
It's going to get better.
If we make good choices,
Exactly.
and we have the choices to make, we have the opportunity. We don't have to feel like we're always victims of situations.
Right.
How about we start taking control and start making some decision and take some ownership of those decisions and experience what we would have never imagined.
Yeah. I always say that I believe we're all are born with a superhero inside us.
Yep.
And it's a matter of discovering what that superhero is. We don't know it. We come out not knowing what our superhero is. And let's just say we're in a world and in a community where people try and hide it from us. So imagine if Superman never knew he was Superman.
Clark Kent. Sure.
If he just identified with Clark Kent and never identified with the Superman in him,
Sure.
imagine what the Superman world would be like.
Or imagine if he choose not to embrace it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so I think we all have that.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's a matter of discovering it and embracing it and realizing that you're only normal to have those type of thoughts and pressures.
No.
Only normal.
No way. No way.
You're not
Really?
an alien because you have that thought.
No way. I thought I am the only one who's struggling in the world. No?
Yeah. So that's awesome. So I'm glad that I'm really glad that you're stepping up, and you know, for all the people listening on social media, if you're thinking, hey, how can I help these guys out? How can I participate in Team Ride for Life? There's all different ways that you can participate. We're looking for sponsorship, major national sponsorship, local sponsorship. We're looking for people to ride along. We're just looking for people who can bring their skill set to the table to help this cause.
Why is it so important?
The reason it's so important is because we're all in it together. And we can sit back and just let the power that comes, I would just say evil, because I believe in good and evil. We could sit back and do nothing and let the power that comes with evil utilize all the multimedia streams and formats and everything that exists to continue to pressure us and continue to try and guide us and make us feel unworthy, or the people that are trying to do something good in life and want to help people. We can combine the best thing that we have, which is inside of us, our energy. We can bring that energy out and connect it, just like superpowers would bring their superpower together,
Right.
and then they would create more. We can bring our superpowers together.
Absolutely.
By joining this force of good and participating in any way you can to help out the cause. The cause is about life, finding your purpose, finding your why to get up every single day and go for it. Knowing that at the end of the day, one day we're going to check out of here. That's no secret. We know that. We just want to make sure that on this journey, we're doing what we're born to do, because that's where the true fulfillment is. It's not in the great job. It's not in the great relationship. It's not in the great anything physical. It's a spiritual fulfillment, because we're spiritual beings.
Sure.
So physical food cannot fulfill that spiritual being. It has to be a spiritual cause. And we were born for it. We just have to discover it, hold on to it, and go for it. And it's going to help somebody else. That's when we know that we're doing it. Is what you're doing helping people? If you can say yes, then you may be on to what your cause is. Is what you're doing hurting people? Well, that's not what you're born to do.
Right.
That means you're probably being utilized by another source.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have opportunity definitely to make an impact. And this is our opportunity. It took me 36 years. This is my opportunity to leave a footprint on this planet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I can look back and say, you know what, Danny, and this is just me talking to myself, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years from now, I think you did good,
Yeah.
right? We should be proud of ourselves. And
Absolutely.
truthfully, isn't that what we're trying to do? We're trying to be proud of ourselves,
Absolutely.
right? And we have that opportunity. And the opportunity is not going to come to us. We have to create it. We have to search for it. We have to find that clarity. And perhaps we can all do it together as a community. And that's really what we're doing here is we are gathering people because we believe life could be amazing. Life could be beautiful. But we know the only way that we can experience that is if we allow ourselves that opportunity to experience it, right? If we give ourselves that chance, if we give our life that chance, and sometimes we just have to take one breath at a time,
Yeah.
and that is okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everybody. I don't want to take up too much time, but definitely I will be pedaling out of San Francisco to Boston to raise, to promote hope and inspiration in life, and also raise awareness for mental health struggles and suicide. And it's going to take me 60 days. I will be crossing 12 states, and it will take me quite some time. So all the supports along the way we would really appreciate. And also we would love, this is a work that I want to really invite everybody to be part of it, whether if it's sharing with other people, whether if it's through donating, through sponsoring, or whether it's just being kinder to ourselves. Thank you for doing that, right? Because this took me 36 years to learn to be kinder to ourselves. So why don't we start with ourselves first before we go out and try to help other people?
Absolutely. Also, we want to encourage you to share your stories with us on our social media platforms. We're going to invite you to register and be a part of this in some way. If you want to share your story, we'll have an opportunity for you to upload a video. If you'd like to upload your video and maybe share your story, and other ways to be able to participate, whether it's to join the challenge rides and sign up before we get to your city. So please pay attention to the social media applications on how you can participate and where you can participate, because we're definitely looking to get as many people involved on this quest as we help people ride for life.
Absolutely, and it's so important. The last thing we want is, as we continue to ride, and this really hurts me knowing that my friend knows that I am riding and I lost her during this ride. That really pains me. And so that's the reason why we want to share it as wide as possible, so we can avoid that. We cannot stop it, but we can hopefully help reducing that, right? And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. So thank you so much, everybody.
Absolutely.
And look forward to see you along the ride, or maybe you'll see me on the ride. I'll be very busy pedaling.
Join the forces with us.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.